Can we get the stands back that Aaron moved? Just because I don't feel comfortable. No, I'm just kidding. What the hell? Is anyone here on a date before I start? No, that was a joke. That's fine. You see what you started, Aaron? Thanks. That's fine. Is anyone here on a date? Just out of curiosity before I start, because I don't want to ruin your evening.
No, I'm just recording.
Mark, good luck to you.
Thank you.
I know you will rock it.
Can I have a mic so that I have something to drop when I'm done?
Good luck to you, Mark.
Thank you. He's already shot. I'm ready. I want you to imagine that you're on a date in Maastricht, the city of love and passion. And you're sitting there on a date and she's looking at, I'm going to say she because that's just my preference. She's talking and, you know, you're like nodding and smiling and going, And I think we do this because we want the other person to know that we like them. And I think there's some similarities between dating and teaching. Now, I don't think we should combine the two, but I'm just saying that there's some similarities. Like, if you have to listen if you want to succeed at both. Let me give you an example. I coordinate and teach a course called International Business Law at the Law Faculty, and before the course starts, I give the students a pre-course survey where I ask them, hey, what do you want to learn? How do you want to be tested? What's your pet peeve? And this gives them a platform to voice their opinions. It allows them to shape their education, right? It's a sign that says, hey, we're doing this together. Your opinion matters. And it's an interactive collaboration. But a lot of my students go, oh, we have a choice? And most of my colleagues think I'm nuts. And I think this is because we have this preconceived notion that classroom is where students go to receive education, where teachers dictate the terms of how and what we learn, right? It's kind of like going to a dentist. Anyone seen this? But I don't think education should be like that. Good teachers have to build teams and enable students. Maybe have some fun in the process. These are some students who challenge the teachers on a paintball match. But we'll get to that in the end. But how do we get there? How do we get to that place? An iconoclastic musician, Frank Zappa, used to say, without deviation from the norm, progress is not possible. And we often ask students to think outside the box. But we, as teachers, we need to do this ourselves too, right? But how does it start? I think it starts by accepting the fact that we need to change the way we think. To go from a, let's figure it out together mentality, rather than the more common approach that I see, that some of my colleagues do, is, let me tell you what I know, right? That's what I see a lot. And this is a difficult transition, because it requires more trust and openness, and makes us feel a little vulnerable, because we have to try new things, and that's hard. And this task is made more difficult by the fact that students have more fun things, like stuff on Facebook and cat videos on YouTube, right? And we're competing with that. And the truth of the matter is, the students, they don't want to spend time with teachers above and beyond what's absolutely necessary. But that's not a good place to be if you want to make meaningful connections with people. So this is my main point for tonight. I think we need to start humanizing the teacher-student relationship. What does that mean? I think it means that teaching isn't just about bestowing substantive knowledge to students. It's about teaching them and giving them experiences that Google can't. And I think sometimes it means being empathetic, being compassionate, caring, talking to them, sometimes even outside of classrooms, with a drink. It shows, hey, how are you doing? Ask them about their lives, their problems, their dreams, their goals. And how I do this in the classroom, I start by memorizing all their names, what they want to do, and how I can help. And as painful and time-consuming as it is, I respond to all their emails, all of them. Because in a digital world, that's how you show that you're listening to them. So with openness and respect, we can change the classroom from a dentist's office to an environment that fosters creativity, right? Where you enable collaboration in a much more fruitful way. From a teacher's perspective, this means we have to be a bit more humble in the face of our egos. This is particularly difficult for me because I'm a recovering lawyer. I used to teach students, you must win, you must crush your opponents. But I'm trying to change. And the one way I'm trying to change is together with my colleague, Catalina Guanta, and we created the Maastricht Mediation Clinic, where we're trying to learn and teach mediation and 21st century skills, like active listening, right? Creative thinking, empathetic understanding, together with the students and the communities at large. That happened really quick, didn't it? So what we do, we paired up with professional mediators, Nolan and Canadians. We got 3 students to actually mediate real cases, to listen and empathize with real clients and solve their disputes. Of course, with the guidance of professionals, of course. This is my grandma, for 50 years. And she told me, Mark, well, she called me by my Japanese name, but I'm not gonna tell that here. She said, Mark, if you want to be a good teacher, there's one thing. Never pretend to know more than you actually do. Be humble, be honest. So, I'll be the first to admit that I don't know if the mediation clinic is a good idea. And maybe the pre-course survey was the dumbest thing I could have done. But it's a deviation from the norm. We're trying different ideas to see what kind of beautiful things we can create by opening our ears and hearts. And in the end, I'm not saying teachers have to be best friends with students. Some of them are terrible. I'm just kidding. But if we keep our ears open and listen to each other in a more fundamentally human way, that's how you start making meaningful connections.